Hello, and welcome to Sanlando Soundwaves. I'm Eric Twachtman, and this is week 22, day 107, and today we are reading Book 1 of Samuel, chapter 4, verses 1 through 10. Here we go. And Samuel's word came to all Israel. The Philistines had captured the ark. Now, the Israelites went out to fight against the Philistines. The Israelites camped at Ebenezer, and the Philistines at Aphek. Philistines deployed their forces to meet Israel, and as the battle spread, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 of them on the battlefield. When the soldiers returned to camp, the elders of Israel asked, "Why did the Lord bring us defeat today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that he may go with us and save us from the hand of our enemies." So the people sent men to Shiloh, and they brought back the ark of the covenant of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim. And Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. Now, when the ark of the Lord's covenant came into the camp, all Israel raised such a great sound that the ground shook. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines asked, "What's all this shouting in the Hebrew camp?" When they learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid. "A god has come into the camp," they said. "Oh no, nothing like this has happened before. We're doomed. Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? They are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues, wickedness. Be strong, Philistine, be men, or you will be subject to the Hebrews as they have been subject to you. Be men and fight." So the Philistines fought, and the Israelites were defeated, and every man fled to his tent. The slaughter was very great. Israel lost 30,000 foot soldiers. Now let us read and reflect on our 7 arrows. What does this passage say? What does the passage mean to the original audience? What does the passage tell us about God? What does this passage tell us about humanity? What does the passage demand of me? How does this passage change the way I relate to people? And finally, what does this passage prompt me to pray to God? Now, let's read a brief devotional about the passage from the book, The 7 Arrows. The story told in chapter 4 symbolizes just how far the people of God had fallen. The ark of God, the tangible representation of his presence with the people, and the house for the stone tablets on which were written God's law, was stolen by one of the foreign nations living in the land. In a bit of foreshadowing, God's presence was removed from his people and cast out among the nations, as God's people would soon be cast out of the land because of their own sin. This was certainly bad news for God's people, but their story would become worse. Without God's presence leading the Israelites, the Philistines slaughtered them in battle. God had graciously revealed himself to the people and lived in their midst. But he wanted the people to see and experience what happened when they tried to live without him. Like Israel, we are inviting our own destruction when we ignore God and go through life on our own. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again tomorrow.